Hey guys, welcome to the podcast today. It's horns down every day, all day. I'm Jessica.
Y'all already know what time it is. I'm finna be so fucking annoying this time around. It's horns down. It's go Deeks. It's go dogs. Everybody motherfucking winning this week. Fuck the rest of y'all. Bama, you still stink.
Bro, the games this week were so good. So good! And I actually got to watch all of them. It was great.
I did not, and I was very sad.
We
I
flip-flopped.
unfortunately had things to do. I just, not gonna go on a full tangent, but I would just like to say if anybody loves me that is listening, that is somewhat close to me in capacity, do not schedule anything during the most important games of football ever. Don't send me to a wedding. Don't send me to your college graduation. Don't send me to your birthday party. Don't send me anywhere if an important game is on. I'm still going to go because I love you. But if you see me on the side looking at a screen, you cannot be upset.
Rules are
Because would you do that?
you're not allowed to get mad at me if I got the game pulled up on my phone. You planned it.
I if this day ever happens and I decide to get married, I will not have a fall wedding. That would be stupid.
If I do have a fall wedding, I would have TVs everywhere so we could watch the game. Or I would do it on a bye week.
Nah, brother.
Okay.
You're not catching me. There are three other seasons, spring, summer, and winter, that I can choose from. Fall is off limits.
That's
So
fair.
sorry.
That's fair.
So sorry. Listen, now, if it's an important, like, oh, my anniversary. First of all, my boyfriend, husband, whoever the fuck is gonna know, don't do no crazy shit during the fall. Period.
Shout out to
That
my
is all.
shout out to my cousin getting married in 2 weeks on Friday. During Ole Miss week. Thank you so much for planning, but thank you for doing it on a Friday and not a Saturday. Because if you would have done it on a Saturday, you wouldn't see me.
Yeah, that's the other exception is maybe I do a Sunday situation.
Who wants to get
I'm definitely not doing no Friday. That's crazy. But
It's a small wedding. It's literally like I think like she's doing just family. That's it.
oh yeah, that's fine.
Teeny
But
tiny.
yeah, no, the fall between the months of August to December,
I'm booked.
m- not happening.
I'm booked.
So sorry.
I'm booked.
So sorry. You might get a March wedding.
I can't
Just
possibly.
watch this clip literally be taken months, years, however long it takes down the line, and they're like, "Hey, remember that time you said no fall wedding?
I'm
What
gonna
the
throw
fuck
that
is
at you.
this?"
I'm gonna throw that at you. I'm gonna be like, hey yo, remember how hard you went against fall weddings, and now we're here in fall at your
I'm
wedding.
genuinely gonna stick to my guns because I'm gonna tell you why. I also don't like the fall is pretty. It's not as cold, but there's just too many variables in the fall that I can't. Weather's unpredictable.
See, fall's my favorite season. I love fall because it's football, Halloween, spooky, crunchy leaves. It's beautiful.
All could be experienced without having a wedding. But anyway, I digress. Not the purpose of this podcast. The purpose is
Anyways,
for me to fucking gloat because I
please do.
won a lot this week. I won.
In many different
Everybody else
aspects.
lost. To all my haters, you lost.
If you were praying for her downfall, you did not pray
If you were
far
praying for
hard
my
enough.
downfall, whoever is sitting at home with my voodoo doll, you lost.
You didn't pray
I
hard enough.
won.
You didn't wish hard
I
enough.
thought I was cooked, and I rose from the ashes like the phoenix I am.
Across the board, because let's start out. Wake won. Y'all, Wake Forest fucking won.
And I said this to Jessica because she texted me and said, wow, Wake is actually winning. I said, the one thing Wake's going to do is win when it doesn't matter.
You didn't even say that. You laughed. You said, haha. And then when I said later that they had won, you were like, they're going to win against a team that doesn't fucking matter at the end of the day. But the first time I texted you being like, yo, Wake's up. They're winning right now. You said, ha, ha. And I was like, okay, I'm trying to
That
bring you some
tracks.
positive. Something positive
That
here.
tracks. Because, first of all, I've said this last week. Who cares? Who cares about the game? I don't. In true Wake fashion, we win a game that doesn't matter. Who cares?
Hey, you're closer to being bowl eligible.
Jessica, don't play with me today. This is not about pissing me
You're
off and
right.
playing
You're
games
right.
with me.
You're
This is
right.
about me winning. Let's keep going.
Not just
Yes.
winning, not just you winning. Let's talk about who else has been winning or did win this weekend. Sorry.
Me.
Other
I'm
than
gonna say you
you.
didn't win. I'm gonna say you didn't win. Alabama. Because y'all fucking stink.
Fucking Bama. Listen, that game was. I literally am texting Amani the entire time, like, you need to turn this game on. And she literally could not turn it on. I think you could listen to it for a little bit.
So, yes.
This
First of all,
game.
get a friend like Jessica to give you updates when you cannot have them yourself. It's so helpful. The game was tied when she texted me and she was freaking out. She's like, "Oh my God, it's tied." I said,
tied.
"What quarter is it in?" She said, "The fourth," and it's tied. I was driving. I said, "You know what? I'm just gonna play it." Was that a hazard to the roads? Maybe.
Yes.
But I did end up listening to the second half of the game. I did not see the end when they actually won, but I was pretty close.
Let me describe it to you. Let me describe it to you. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So Tennessee's up. Bama needs a touchdown. Okay. They need a touchdown here. They gotta win. There's nothing. They can't get a field goal. It's gotta be a touchdown. Okay.
Right.
Bama gets the ball. First of all, before that, Bama went for it on fourth down and didn't get a damn yard. Also, side note, hold on. There's a clip.
I was gonna say, didn't I put him in a horrible
This is
position?
earlier. This is earlier. They went for it on fourth down. Okay. Picture this. They're going for it on fourth down. They're doing a quarterback kind of sneak. They got two wide receivers on the far end near the sideline. Okay.
Oh, I understand.
And the two receivers, when the ball snaps, just jump in the air and go,
"Ballin'."
Bitch.
That's what they did.
And they didn't get the first down. What you celebrating? You didn't get it.
And that's when you know Saban's program is in the pisser, because
Brother,
that would have never been allowed.
No.
Again, and I feel like we've had this conversation throughout the entire season, but you need to be locked in during every part of the time you are on that field, because you never know what's going to happen. Those two people thought it was cute to be like, "Oh, but they got this in the bag. They don't need us."
No.
Little did they know, y'all needed them.
Okay, so this is the last drive. Bama has like a minute. Okay, a minute. They got to drive down this field and win. Which, to be fair, Jalen had thrown some beautiful passes that day. So it is highly possible that Jalen can get them down to at least get them down there to potentially win this game. Okay. Snap the ball. Pressure immediately from Tennessee. Jalen scrambles, throws that shit straight into Tennessee's hands, and fucking intercepts that shit.
That'll do it.
I was concerned for everyone that was a Bama fan. After I was done cackling, I was cracking up laughing, respectfully, because then reality set in that we still had our game. But I was cackling my fucking ass off because the players and the coaches on Bama's sideline just were like, what just happened? Because guess what? This is the first time in years that they have 2 losses in the regular season.
The Tennessee teams at that.
Tennessee.
But here's the kicker that really had me for real, was the fact that Tennessee didn't even score a single point in the first half.
No, they both looked pretty bad. They looked mediocre in the first half. It was terrible.
It was mid versus mid. But what's also funny and low key, kind of their karma, because this is kind of how the Bama Georgia game went a little bit.
Ain't it? Yeah. Oh yeah.
Ain't it? Oh yeah. The only difference is they didn't score a lot in the first half, but other than that, felt kind of similar. Here's the thing. When I did the college pick'ems, and we'll talk about that later, something in my brain was just like, Bama stinks. The end.
We went on a 10-minute tangent on what they smelled like.
The end.
The end.
That was it. I just felt in my heart of hearts, they suck. And they did. So, that is all.
Yeah. We can jump into some other ones. Miami, you skated by Louisville. Congratulations. You bout fucked that one up. I am getting sick and damn tired of y'all skating by. Fucking win a goddamn game. Heavily.
I I knew that was going to be a good game because Louisville hasn't been as. I mean, they've lost. Don't get me wrong, but they have been more competitive than people have been expecting. Um, my biggest thing with Miami, like you said, is they just keep skating by the hair of their chinny chin chin. Um, and I have a feeling I need to check. I'm checking now, but I have a feeling they're about to play some. Oh no,
Have they played Clemson yet?
yes.
Fuck.
Actually, no, they didn't play Clemson. They don't play Clemson at all this season. Sorry.
Damn
They're
it.
the rest of their games. This is the thing. The rest of their games is pretty. If they keep doing what they're doing, I'm not gonna lie, they might just skate out with a win throughout the whole season because they play Florida State next,
Mm-hmm.
then Duke,
Mm.
then Georgia Tech. Which Georgia Tech, had they played Georgia Tech week 3, this might have been a game. But Georgia Tech's been kind of slipping lately, so I don't know how that one's gonna really
No,
go.
but that game's always tight.
Yeah, but I just feel like recently they kind of fell off a little bit. That's why I said had they played them earlier in the
Yeah.
season, I think it might have been more of a game. We'll see though, because it just might.
Yeah.
So they play Tech after that. Then it's Wake. You're winning. We're cooked. Doesn't even matter.
Plot
Like I
twist.
said,
Y'all are the team that beats them.
Wake is the only time Wake wins a game is when it doesn't matter. Which at this point, it's the second to the last game. They may just do it because it doesn't matter, but who knows? And then the very last game is Syracuse, which that one's gonna be tough.
Now listen, Syracuse might have fallen off a little bit, but hear me out. They got a fucking chance, bro. If Louisville had a chance, Syracuse could have a chance.
That's what I'm saying.
That's their only
So
fucking chance.
that's
God,
why I said they
shit.
may skate through most of the year with
I
this
hate that.
because their season is actually pretty stacked pretty well. So congratulations for capitalizing on that because yeah.
Good job.
Um
You got one?
yes, I lost it because I looked that up. Let me go find it again. 1 second.
Okay. While you have that, I'm gonna just comment. Hey Michigan. Here's that L from Illinois. You're welcome. Get the fuck out of the
Boo.
top 25.
Didn't I say last week? I said, who cares?
Get them out of the top
Boo.
25. Get them out. Get the fuck out.
Boo.
Goodbye.
Literally.
Peace out, Girl
Literally
Scout.
boo. I knew that game was gonna be mid. It was mid.
Mhm.
Unimpressed. 0 out of 10 stars.
Seeing as
Would not
Illinois
recommend.
only scored on them 3 times, yes.
It was
Is
mid.
my math right?
Yeah.
Yeah, my math's correct. 3 times.
Um.
Oh,
BYU.
yeah.
Count your blessings. Send your prayers.
Oh.
Thank God
Oh.
for whatever happened. Because you almost lost that game.
You about lost Oklahoma State, brother.
You almost lost that game. But, you know,
On a
you
Friday
kept your...
night. On a
At
Friday-
home.
At a Friday night at home, brother. The fuck are y'all doing?
Yeah.
I did not watch that because Friday night games are meh.
Agreed.
I-
I just think... Actually, no, I'm lying. I did see that game because I was in my handy-dandy favorite spot, Taco Mac, and the game was on. And I was talking to my dad about it, and I said, there was one specific play, I can't remember, but, like, BYU scored a touchdown, because they were pretty tied for most of the game, which I was also surprised about.
Mhm.
Then BYU scored a touchdown, and I said, I might have taken the risk and went for 2. He goes, why would you do that? You don't need to go for 2. I said, the way this game is looking, you might have needed to go for 2.
Yep.
Granted, they won by a field goal,
Mm.
but had they gotten the 2,
Mm.
you
didn't
know?
have to worry about it.
So me and my dad were talking about that heavy. He was like, no, BYU's going to carry it through, which they ended up carrying it through. But I just was like, the game is too close. I was like, I would have gone for 2. Now, the game was close, so maybe they didn't go for 2 because they didn't think they would get it. But, yeah, to be neck and neck like that, y'all
Yeah.
need to count your blessings because that was crazy. And honestly, the more I think about it too, like, there were some lucky plays. Like, they got really lucky, I think.
I am just going to say this right now before I dive into some of these other games. I don't think there is a complete, like, fully great team this year. I think
I
everybody's
agree.
good. I think everybody's good. Don't get me wrong. Teams are good. I don't think they're top tier. I don't think there's a top
Yeah.
tier team right now.
Me and Jessica were talking about that the other day.
Mhm.
And we just think that it's just such a crapshoot. Like, really,
Mhm.
at this point, there's no like true team that's standing out.
And yes, I'm aware that Oregon is undefeated. Look at who they have played. Minus Ohio State. Who have they played? No one. It's the same effect that Texas had this week where they thought they were the number one best team and then nobody understood what the fuck happened. The dogs showed up and whooped that ass. That's what happened. You played an actual team.
Yeah.
And we'll get into
I
that
think the
game
way
later.
schedules were made, like it just was very cupcake. And so there's really not a true indication of who's best because everyone, like, even the people that have played very difficult teams, it's like once a season, like once a
Yeah.
few weeks. Like it's just not really competitive like I've seen some other schedules. Um,
Well, it's like Ole Miss right now. They're getting a rude awakening because all their easy games were at the top of the season, and now they're actually diving into SEC and they're starting to lose. And people are like, "What the fuck's going on?" I'm like, "They're playing teams, bro.
we
They're
talked about that.
playing defenses and offenses. They're not
We
playing
talked about
cupcake."
that when we talked about that when they played Wake. I said, "You're playing Wake.
Yeah,
You should win."
correct. That's like Texas. You played ULM. Yeah, Arch is gonna have 5 touchdowns. It's ULM.
Yeah.
Correct. Anyways, before we get into that game, shout out Mizzou for the biggest comeback that they've had this year against unranked Auburn. But shout out, you won. Good job. But count your days. That was really scary. I ain't gonna lie to you. That was really very scary. It's Auburn.
Meh. I think similarly to Louisville, Auburn has just had some very unfortunate luck and some very poor fundamentals when it comes to like when they need it the most. Like
You
I
mean poor
think
coaching when they've needed coaching the most?
well, I'm not even gonna say coaching. I said fundamentals for the simple reason of again, I haven't seen this last game.
Mm-hmm.
The game that I did see a couple weeks ago when they just kept throwing interceptions, like that's a fundamental skill issue. Like, you know, because even though they still were kind of competitive in that game, who was it? I believe it was like um Oklahoma or somebody. It was Oklahoma. It was Oklahoma. When they played Oklahoma,
Mm-hmm.
because they kept intercepting the ball,
Mm-hmm.
they lost the game.
Mm-hmm.
Had they not had a bunch of those interceptions, it wouldn't have given Oklahoma the possessions to be able to eventually beat them. It's fundamental skills at that point. Coaching does have a play, but I just feel like from a player perspective, they fuck up when they need to not fuck up.
Speaking of Oklahoma, um, South Carolina. Thank you so much for welcoming Oklahoma into the SEC with a beautiful 35-9 win. Cause holy fucking shit!
I'm not going to dive too much into this game because I'm going to talk about it in pick'ems, but I had a
Who?
dream about this.
She did.
I had a dream about this game,
Saved a
which
record, in
impacted
fact.
some, yeah, it impacted my choices and it impacted some things, but I literally had a dream about this game and I said, hmm, I might want to reconsider.
Yeah,
True story. I
it's
have the text messages
she
to prove it.
literally texts me because she is at an event and she said, Jessica, it's like 10 a.m. and we close pick'ems at noon. She's texting me at 10. She goes, Jessica, I need a favor. And I'm like, what? She goes, you have to change my pick. And I'm like, which one? I'm thinking like she's about to change like 5 of them. I'm like, which one are you changing? What's going on? She goes, South Carolina, Oklahoma. I want South Carolina. I don't want Oklahoma anymore. I was like, are you
I
sure?
said, I literally said, I just opened my eyes.
And
I need to make a change.
you saw a
And I will
chicken in
dive
your dream.
deeper, and I will dive deeper into that as we get to pick 'em. But thank you, MLK, in my dreams, because I had a dream and it definitely fixed it. I had a dream.
Going with that, what the fuck?
Know where I was going. But all that to say, yeah, y'all whooped that ass.
Bro, that was a solid game. That was
Hmm.
Beamer. I'm so glad you finally got that win, my guy, because it's been really hard to see you get so close to winning that game and to see you whoop that ass on Oklahoma.
Hmm.
Mm. Chef's
Another
kiss.
team, another team that barely skated by, Iowa State, the NPC character that's just floating around in space because they're not real.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
wait. No, this game? Let me tell you how this game ended. UCF intercepted the fucking ball, ran it back for a touchdown, or so they thought. The fucking safety dropped the ball before he crossed the damn line.
I saw that.
Yeah, and it was Iowa State's ball. Crazy shit.
I
They
saw that clip. I said I would
barely
be
won.
sick. I would be, if I were that coach, I would be at practice having everybody run with the ball until they hit the touchdown
Yep, correct.
every single time.
Correct. That was the
Because
game.
they were not supposed to win that game.
No, that was the game. UCF would have had the hugest upset, and we never would have heard the end of it, but they would have had a huge upset.
Yeah.
Ugh. Um, Speaking of, I just have to mention this because I thought it was really funny. Duke, for the first time ever, beat FSU, and they didn't even celebrate. So do with that as you will.
Because why? They're not a team.
It was their first time they ever beat them.
Okay. I would be happy if I beat a team that was actually worth beating. That's not a team. That is a collective of students who said, hey, I want to play. That is not a team. I'm sure they probably sent a mass email to their whole entire student fan base and was like, hey, tryouts tomorrow.
There was some team that was asking for, they were going to have kicker tryouts because their kicker was shit. And I can't remember who it was. I wonder if it was Iowa. It might have been Iowa State. I can't remember. But there was some team that literally, like, one of the players came out and was just like, yeah, we're about to have tryouts for kickers because our kickers are shit. So if you can kick, come try out. And he had to apologize later. But I was like, nah, don't apologize. Just say, speak your mind, bro. Speak your mind, brother.
Yeah, that team. And the thing that's so crazy is the team, from what I recall, has not made that many changes. Like, I don't think there has been much involvement or movement.
No.
So to go from the team y'all had last year to the team this, I don't
Don't
know what
know. We broke
happened.
them. We broke them. Georgia
Yeah,
broke them.
I don't know what happened, but they're crashing out hard.
When our third string scored on them, it completely destroyed them. And everybody that was yelling at me, well, that's our next year's team. That's our juniors and sophomores for next year. Just wait till next year. Baby, it is this year. We are halfway through the season. I'm still waiting for y'all to show the fuck up.
I'm not.
Oh, I'm being nice.
It's week 8. You're not showing up. It's week 8.
Fair.
If Wake has a chance,
True. Trying to think if there's any other games of significance.
I mean, Oregon beat the fuck out of Purdue, shocker.
Who could have guessed?
Um,
Who could have guessed it?
Indiana beat the fuck out of Nebraska, shocker.
Indiana is undefeated for the first time in a really long time, I believe.
Yeah, Clemson, well, they won by 17, I guess.
Against
It's
Virginia. Where's that defense? Where's that
Yeah,
defense?
they've been having some very high scoring games. Like the thing about Clemson that's been saving their ass is the offense has made more points than the defense has allowed. But
Yeah.
every game I've seen with them has been some high scoring games.
It's the same with Miami. Miami sat here and allowed them to score fucking 45 points on you? Bro, you play
Yeah.
one team that has a defense, you're fucked. You're fucked.
Yeah, literally every game I'm looking at, well, except for the few. You've like the whole point of Clemson's like team is just to score more points than the defense allows, which is insane. But go off, it's working.
It's working.
Let's
Okay.
see, anything else?
If not, I'm ready.
Notre Dame, Georgia Tech. Wasn't really a game, but I was surprised Notre Dame made that many points. That's what I'm saying. But like, had Georgia Tech played Miami earlier in the season, it might have been a different story. But
Fun fact, they played that, I believe, in the Atlanta Stadium this past weekend. So Georgia Tech
yeah,
now has a new thing that they have been granted where they can pick one game out of the year to play it in the dome. This year they picked the Notre Dame game. Next year it's the Georgia Tech game.
which would be fun to go to actually.
I'm
Now that I
probably
think
going to
of it.
be working it.
I might need to figure out how to get a ticket for that soon.
Yeah. I don't know if they've released them yet, but
I don't think so.
with that being said, I want to move on to the highlight of my weekend, and I'm sure yours as well. Georgia and Texas. Let me tell you, Bevo jumped headfirst into a fucking, what is it called? What is it where they what is it? I'm thinking of where they make the barbecue. He jumped headfirst into a pit and just became barbecue for everyone because y'all got cooked. Y'all got cooked.
And it was great to watch.
Oh,
I'm not gonna lie. I also that was the only other game I
poetry.
caught, and I watched the second half, and it was fantastic to watch. I'm gonna tell you the craziest part, though. I mean, I'm sure everyone knows.
Which part?
It's been everywhere.
Which fucking part? Choose one.
The fans throwing water bottles and impacting the decision of the game. Never seen that before.
What the fuck was that? If you were under a rock or you fell asleep and you missed this shit, let me just throw it back to you. Georgia has the ball. Carson throws it. It's intercepted by a Texas defender. They run it back to like the 10, I want to say. Penalty flag is thrown for defensive pass interference. Now the crowd gets fucking livid. It was a bad call. I agree. It was not a great call.
The call was horrible.
Student section starts chucking trash, specifically water bottles, onto the field to the point both teams have to come off to the sideline and stand in the middle of the field because there's just trash in the fucking end zone. And they're just throwing that shit. And Stark has to walk over to the student section and be like, fucking stop. And cheerleaders and everybody starts picking it up. But here's the kicker. That's over like 5-10 minutes. The referees, after making the call, and let me also say this, the players were lined up ready for the next play, baby. They were ready to go.
They put the penalty out there, so the ball was moved, the play was set, everything was ready to go. They just simply had to stop because they had to clean up the trash. And in that 3-minute time span, the refs had a conversation and said, you know what? We were wrong. Which, again,
you can't review that penalty. That's insane. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's insane. But they did it. And that's the first time. And now they've set a precedent.
A huge
because
precedent.
Let's be real. Like, the team, Texas only got a $250,000 fine. That's a lot of money. But for a sports program, it's really chunk change. Because, like.
The irony, though? Go ahead. No,
you go ahead.
Well, the added factor that people are missing is the SEC told Texas, I don't care what technology you got to use, you better start identifying all those kids and kick them out for the rest of the year. Or actually take away all their tickets. And kids have actually started receiving text messages from Texas being like, hey, we have found you to be throwing trash during that game. Your season tickets are revoked. You're fucked. Goodbye. Hilarious. Anyways, continue.
Actually kind of wild. Because if y'all got that kind of technology, why aren't we doing a little better?
They have stadium cameras.
No, I know that, but I'm just like, those could be used for better. Just saying. But anyway,
agree.
What I was getting to was $250,000 is really, like, to some programs, chunk change.
Especially Texas.
I fear that this is going to create a dangerous precedent where, like, yeah, you can go look at the cameras and cut people off for the rest of the season, whatever the case may be. But I feel like that's not really going to matter in the grand scheme of things. And I think it's going to set a dangerous precedent where fans are going to be upset about calls, and all they got to do is just throw some trash on the field to get the decision just, like, changed.
And that's not even, like, one of the, like, that was the biggest bad call. But these refs were, first of all, during the second quarter, I do believe, Georgia's sideline headsets stopped working. They could not get up, they could not talk to their, like, offensive and defensive coordinators up in the fucking booth, okay? They had analysts and stuff up in the booth. They can't hear them. They stopped the game. And they're like, yo, what the fuck are we going to do? We cannot hear them. And clear as day, you see Coach Smart go up to a ref saying, can you help? And the ref goes, I can't do anything about that.
You want to know what's crazy? I was watching this guy talk about it because he basically was giving his whole rundown, thoughts about how he felt about the student section, the whole thing. He said that they didn't do anything about it. They had to communicate via walkie-talkie. But when Georgia brought up the rule, because there's a rule where if one team cannot have access via headset or whatever,
Yep.
that the other team must do the same,
Correct.
all of a sudden it starts working again.
Oh, weird. Ain't that something?
I was telling Jessica this too. I said, I feel like that game, because we're going to talk about the targeting as well.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I
We
feel
haven't even gotten there yet.
game wasn't even about the targeting, wasn't even about all this stuff. It was targeting Georgia. They were really trying their best to make Georgia lose. And that was my first time for real seeing a game where they are intentionally trying to rig the game, and it still didn't work.
Bro, they haven't said he's getting fined. I don't think they're going to let him get fined. Coach Smart said it best at the end of the fucking game, and I will pull that up later and quote it because he was damn right. Because not only were we playing Texas, the football team, we were playing against the student section. We were playing against fucking technology with the headsets and fucking malfunctions. And we were playing the refs.
And playing against ESPN.
And ES fucking PN, who chose against us the entire goddamn week. Oh, I will have to quote what Coach Smart said later because it was wild. But yeah, let's get into the fucking 2 targeting calls that now have taken out 2 of our defensive players for Florida. Interesting. For the first half.
Here's my thoughts. The first one,
questionable.
I would give it to him. I was like, okay, fair.
My only problem with the first one is how is he supposed to tackle if the runner is also putting his head down? Like, what is he supposed to do there?
Fair enough.
Like, why is the rule
fair enough.
revisited.
I think for me, the reason why I said okay, fine, is because in both the NFL and college football, I've seen that same exact play happen, and the people just got to like. It is what it is. It's very unfortunate. It's poor timing. It's a lot of things that get factored in. But I have seen instances where that same exact play got them kicked out. So that's why I was like, okay, fair, fine.
Yeah.
The second one was bullshit. That was crazy.
That
to do it 2 plays in a row, too, insane work.
To the point, like. First of all, the announcers were agreeing with the second one, and I'm like, in what world? What world? And they're like, well, we're trying to protect the players by ensuring they don't lead with the helmet. And I'm like, he didn't even hit the guy in the head. He hit him more so with his shoulder, and he hit the kid in the chest.
That one was a clear hit to the shoulder. That's why I was like, that one was crazy.
That was
the first one,
bullshit.
I get it. It was a poor, unfortunate set of timing. The second one, I was like, y'all just really trying to find a way to get them to win this game.
And they still couldn't win. Ha! Still couldn't fucking win it. Even after that shit, they gave you 15, not even 15, a total of 30 extra fucking yards, and y'all still couldn't score in that end zone. Hilarious. Or actually, no, I think y'all did score on that play. I might be wrong. Made it fucking...
Someone said it best. They were like, the play reversing and the targeting calls made the score 30-15 instead of 38.
Correct.
That's pretty much it.
Correct. Absolutely.
They were like, we don't want Texas to lose that bad. I truly think that was it.
And then the last 2 things. It was very clear that we scored a touchdown. You literally see the ball over the fucking line. Made us go
multiple
for it.
times.
Made us go for it 2 more times to convince them it was a fucking touchdown. Not to then mention later, they said we were short on a first down when you can clearly see the player and the ball in his chest before he goes out of bounds is over the line.
The ball crossed the plane multiple times. I said at that point they're just trying to piss you off. Like there was nothing else behind it.
Oh, I was done. I was so If we had lost that game because of that shit.
But what made me laugh so hard was the very last one. It was a clear touchdown. Like there was nothing about it. The guy who scored it was like, does that count? Like because to make y'all do that 3 times in a row was insane work.
And by the 3rd time, I was like, you know what? Do it again. Let's celebrate again because fuck this. Yeah. I was so. Either way, it's horns down. Fuck y'all. Everybody that's saying we told you that's how Texas is, we basically got a second Alabama. I don't want that. I don't need that. I don't want it. Nobody asked for it. Why? The fuck?
You know what's interesting? Sorry, I'm just looking at the
Go
stats.
for it. Go for it.
Georgia and Texas are both 6-1, but Texas is 2-1 in their conference. They haven't played anybody yet
Mm-hmm.
because Georgia's 4-1 in their Who
Mhm.
have y'all played?
No one. Fucking nobody. They played Oklahoma.
Oh, they're fucked. They
They're
are so.
fucked. They're
I'm
playing
looking at
Vandy
the
this
rest of this.
weekend in Vandy,
I'm
bitch. Vandy, this is your time. This is your time to do the funniest shit ever.
the
Sorry.
rest of the rest of their schedule.
Speak on it.
Good luck, Charlie. So of course you said they play Vanderbilt next week.
Mm-hmm,
After that is Florida.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
After that is Arkansas.
mm-hmm.
After that is Kentucky. And then after that is Texas A&M. Your cupcake games are gone.
I hope you enjoyed
Sorry.
them. I hope you enjoyed them at the start. Because
Good luck.
I'm hyped for Vandy. Vandy, you could do the funniest shit right now. You really, really could. I don't know what time that game is, but oh, it's 3:15. I am seated. I am set for that game. I'm watching every bit of that game
Well, maybe.
as much as I can.
um,
I'm trying to find the quote because I just want to end it on what Coach Smart said because he said it best, but do you have anything else to say about this game?
Never bet against Georgia. Never bet against the Deeks. That's all we have to say about this week.
Fucking underestimate us every single time.
Actually, let me put a caveat on the last part of that. Never bet on the Deeks when it's a game that doesn't matter. Because we're going to win that one. If we're going to win a game, it's going to be one that doesn't count, that doesn't matter.
I just want to know. One, I haven't watched College Game Day in a really fucking long time. You kicked off David Pollock, the only one that had a somewhat sense. I was done. Second, Lee Corso, you need to take him out. It's just getting sad. Third, y'all ain't got a fucking brain cell to share. Because
I was cracking up at Smart's son with the photo. That is epic.
I love him. He is the biggest troll, and he's not even a part of the team. He's just a kid.
I love a good troll. It's my favorite.
He is my favorite child. Don't tell anybody else, but he is my favorite child. All right, let me really try to find this fucking quote. Hold on, because it spoke truth. It spoke to me.
Looking into next week's games while you do that,
Please do.
I'm gonna tell you who I am sat for. And the first one that I see that I am sat for is I feel like I was talking about this earlier to Jessica. I feel like Syracuse Pitt's going to be a good game. It's a Thursday night game because they absolutely hate them, but I actually feel like that's going to be a pretty good game.
Agree.
Bama and Mizzou. That's going to be sick.
That's going to be a game now.
Sat. I will be sat.
Seated.
Because like Vandy, Mizzou, you have one job that could really, really turn things around for Bama and make them feel like shit. Because they stink.
Vandy and Mizzou, y'all could do the funniest thing right now. The funniest fucking thing right now. That ass. Everybody's cheering for you this weekend. Don't let us down, kids. Anyways, continue.
We already talked about it. Texas Vandy. As much as I want that to be a game, I don't know.
There it is. I got the quote. We can end it with that, or do you want to go now?
We'll just keep talking about the games, yeah.
All right,
I'm almost done with them.
Because it's a beautiful quote. It's my favorite thing ever. All right, let me see. Let me get into this.
Texas Vandy. I feel like a lot of people want that to be a game. I don't think it's going to be as much of a game as we think it is.
Hold on. Reason it is one, it's in Vandy. It's not at Texas.
Correct.
Vandy has not lost at home yet this year. So everybody's like, ooh. So there's a lot on the line right now. Texas is also licking their wounds.
There's always a first for everything.
Listen, I'm going to have faith in Vandy, okay? I'm going to have
I think they're going to score. What?
This is the same team that, okay.
This is the same team that what?
That beat Bama.
That's not saying much. respectfully, it's not saying much to me.
I think so. I think they have a chance to actually like make it a semi-close game and make it fun. I do. I do. Especially when it's at Vandy. If it was in Texas, I'd be like, eh. But it's at Vandy. Listen, that's home turf.
They're definitely going to score.
Terrible.
Yep.
Terrible.
Because I'm sorry, to me, I feel like not really saying much at this very moment in time. Prove me wrong, Vandy.
Prove it wrong,
Because
please.
they were close to Mizzou. They did beat Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
But
When
I
they
just don't
should not have beat Kentucky.
I just don't think personally that they are going to do it. It's very similar to the thing I thought about Tech last week when they played Notre Dame. I just don't think they're going to carry it through. They're going to score.
I picked Notre
They
Dame
should
for
be
that
proud of
game,
that.
so that's fair. I picked Dame for that game, so we'll see. I don't know. I just think Vandy has a chance to be fucking funny.
They have an opportunity, but
They do.
I personally feel I don't think it's going to be as crazy as the Bama situation because it's Bama. Like,
I understand.
not impressed.
No, I understand.
No.
Did you already talk about LSU Texas A&M?
No, that's now that I'm.
That
What
I'm
time is that game?
interested. That is at 7:30. You better make sure your
That.
friend got it on. He better have that shit on,
That.
please. Because they're the two teams right now that are undefeated in the SEC, in the SEC record wise, not overall. They're 6-1, both of them, but they're they're undefeated in the SEC at the moment, and one of them's about to lose, and then God forbid one of these two end up fucking making it to the SEC championship, bro. That'd be wild. God.
Win both, in theory, if unless they don't lose any more games this season.
I
I
don't
don't know how it works.
I don't know how they're going to decide it. If I remember correctly when I was talking to my dad about it, he said it was strength of schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's going to depend on like who they think record-wise deserves to go to the SEC championship if there's a tie.
Okay.
But also if it's like Georgia, Texas end up with the same record, Georgia beat Texas, so Georgia's going. That kind of shit. I think it's going to potentially come down to that, but because there's no clear East-West division anymore, fuck if I know.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see. I think it's gonna be a good game regardless. It's at Texas
Mm-hmm.
A&M, isn't it?
Yes, sure
Mm-hmm.
is.
Yeah, that's gonna be a game for sure.
Let me see here. What are some other ones?
That's about it on my radar.
Um, let me check something. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see.
I think Michigan and Michigan State play, but boo, meh,
Fight of the
don't
mediocre.
care.
Fight of the
Yeah.
mediocre. Who cares?
Yep.
There's no big ones that like are screaming to me like these are going to be relevant. Georgia has
Yeah.
a bye week, so does Florida before Georgia, Florida. Speaking of which, I will be there. So excited. Uh, where will you be?
Trying not to cry.
Stop. Damn.
I will actually be traveling for work. 'Cause that's what, next week?
Yep.
Yeah, it's next week. I will actually be in California.
Mhm.
I think the slight joy I'm gonna have is getting an In-N-Out burger because I've been craving an
Ooh.
In-N-Out burger for the past year.
I don't think I've ever had one.
The fries are ass, but the burger is pretty good.
That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, Wake plays somebody. Meh, who cares? I think this week they
Damn.
play Is it Stanford?
Maybe. Oh, Notre Dame Navy. I don't know if you mentioned that one. The only reason I'm mentioning it is because
Um,
they're both ranked. Navy is undefeated for the first time.
if Navy pulls that win, that'd actually be kind of insane. I'm not gonna lie.
Notre Dame is a 12-point favorite, so I don't know. But then again, they were underestimating Georgia, so who fucking knows anymore?
Yeah, I'm just looking to see who Wake plays. It's somebody.
Wake plays Stanford in Stanford on ACC Network at 3:30. Y'all are the 3-point favorite at the moment. Y'all are
Hmm.
a favorite
Okay.
for the first time.
Okay. Again, this game matters. So 9 times out of 10, we're gonna lose it. I'm being so serious. This game matters. This is a conference game,
hmm
technically.
Technically now, yeah. Shit.
Yeah,
Forgot about that.
we're gonna lose it.
I don't know, man. Things
Our
this
school.
this season's weird. You don't know, man. You don't know what the fuck could happen. Also, just real quick, Pittsburgh, my one weekly shout out to Pitt. Congratulations on being undefeated.
Yeah, good luck
Still
against Syracuse at 7:30 on a Thursday night on
at
Tubi.
on Tubi. It's actually on ESPN.
It's gonna be a good game. I actually might. What am I doing Thursday? I actually might watch it.
I might. I don't know
Yeah.
if I got anything else to watch. Um, yeah. Let us know your games and thoughts from this past week. Oh, we gotta go into AP poll.
Yeah, let's go into it.
Let's do it. We'll be there in just a few seconds. All right, we back. We here. And I kind of actually like what I'm seeing already. Ain't gonna lie to you.
No ties, so I'm fine.
Oh.
The first thing I want to do, my
Mhm.
weekly pour one out for the homies. Michigan, you lasted longer than I expected, but you're finally booted.
Get out.
You suck. Sorry. The
Get out.
other thing I noticed was the amount of like votes, like the ones who didn't make it in, was
Mhm.
very small compared to most weeks. Um, I feel like that means people are getting a more clear indicator of this list, but
Yep. Finally.
finally, it took 8 weeks, but
It's also
yeah.
interesting the difference between 25 and the first out. That's like 50 something points. That's
And
crazy.
that's the lowest I've seen for the number amount of votes for 25.
Yeah.
They've at least been in the hundreds.
Yeah.
So,
It's kind of
but
crazy.
anyway, getting into it, at 25 is Vandy. You know, you did it. I said it a couple weeks ago. I said you're going to have to fight your way there, and you did it.
I don't think you're at the bottom
So,
of the SEC anymore.
so congratulations.
Woo!
You did it.
You did it!
You did it before Syracuse. So, gotta give you a hand
Woo!
for that too.
Yeah, actually, they're not at the bottom of the SEC right now. It's Mississippi State and Auburn tied at 0-4 for the conference. So great job, Vandy. Damn. Come on.
Wow. Be proud. What was so funny, I saw a clip of this bottom five and said, no, sorry, the bottom three, and said this should be put in the Louvre because when are we
Stop.
going to ever see this again? Who knows?
Who knows?
No clue.
Also just throwing it out there. Hey, Bama, Vandy has a better conference record than you right now. How does that feel?
Again, why I'm not impressed.
Texas is also now has the same conference record as Vandy as well. Interesting. Interesting. Just throwing it out there.
Insane work.
Sorry.
This win against Ball State is a little concerning because I feel like the way you've been playing, it should have been a
Yeah.
little more
Yeah.
defined, you know?
Mhm.
But hey, a win's a win.
Win's a win.
A win's a win.
Win's a win.
You play Texas. Good luck.
Good luck.
That's all I can say.
Anchor down.
My two service. Speaking of this, are if for the people not watching,
We saluted to Vandy. Now we're saluting to Navy and Army.
now we're saluting to Army and Navy.
Amy and Army.
Amy and Navy. I'm sorry, they're never here.
FBI,
I'm not
please,
sure what to do with
please
them.
don't come for us. Listen,
I thank you for your service.
Oh
They're
no!
both still undefeated. Navy went up one, so congrats to you.
After
Yeah,
beating
y'all.
Charlotte, great job.
Yeah, you whooped Charlotte and East Carolina. That's not saying much.
No.
Army has a bye week though, so relax, have fun.
Don't
Hope you
lose
win the
the bye
bye.
week. Don't lose it.
Yeah.
Some people did.
Navy, Notre Dame. Best of luck to you. That's pretty much it.
I'm interested. I'll keep an eye on it. I'm interested.
Yeah. 22 is SMU. I have no thoughts on this team.
They also fell a spot, which is interesting because they whooped Stanford.
Well, it's Stanford. I think that's why they went down one.
Fair.
Um,
Interesting though.
Now they play Duke, which you got a shot.
Ish.
You got a shot there.
Ish.
Um,
Maybe.
Now one person that just keeps getting shit on because they absolutely hate them, Mizzou.
Why they? Well, first of all, even though I was hyping up your comeback against Auburn a little bit, it's still unranked bottom of the SEC, like I just said, Auburn. How did you struggle that hard? That's bad.
Well,
And you were at home.
the only way I can see you really holding it together
Mm-hmm.
is if you at least put some points up and score and make it competitive against Bama this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You have the opportunity to do something very fucking fun.
You have the opportunity to do something
And
absolutely hilarious.
And in the today's world where we are so unserious, be so unserious. This would be a so unserious, hilarious way to win.
Bring
Just
me
saying.
my chaos. Please bring me more chaos. I want it for this season. That would just be icing on the goddamn cake.
Yeah.
Jesus.
At 20 is Illinois. They went up 2 for beating Michigan.
Well done.
I'm honestly surprised because beating Michigan ain't saying much right now.
No, but Michigan was 24 and I think Illinois was at 22, so they bumped them up for being like, good job. Okay, bye.
I guess. Maybe 1 point might have been acceptable, but 2 is a little, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just feel like, sure. Whatever. You play Oregon. This ain't gonna last long.
Ooh.
This ain't gonna last long.
You can either be the first defense they get to see, or you get blown out. Good luck.
They bumped them up too to cushion their fall for next week. That's what my brain is thinking right now. Because if you lose the number 1 Oregon, you might be at 25. As opposed to if you were at 22 still, you might be off the list. So maybe they just bumped them up and was like, let's help them out a little bit. Congrats on Pitt. Y'all won the bye. Congratulations. You play Syracuse. That's going to be a good game.
Good luck.
Syracuse, you've been fighting tooth and nail, like I said, all year. I was like, you're going to have to really, really fight for a spot on this list. This is the game to do it.
I also want it noted, Syracuse is 2-1. Pittsburgh, you're 2-0 in your conference. This might be a game. Truly.
I think so.
Truly.
And the fact that it's a Thursday night game on Tubi is very... Sorry, it's not on Tubi. Let me be...
It's on ESPN.
But the fact that it's a Thursday night game is so... I think this was probably decided before, things got really serious because I personally wouldn't have done that. This is definitely giving Saturday at 3:30 energy, but I digress.
I didn't sign that contract. I don't know.
Not my game, not my problem. Anyway, Ole Miss, I guess you won the bye this week.
You didn't move.
You didn't move. You're gonna move because you play Oklahoma.
I honestly kind of don't know how this game's going to go because Ole Miss is falling flat. Their offense is not as elite as everybody was saying. Same with what happened with Texas. Oklahoma, I don't know what the fuck's going on with y'all. I guess y'all having a rude awakening joining the SEC. This could be interesting.
Yeah, this actually might be a game for real. I don't know when this game is, but it actually might be a game for real.
I don't know, but we're going to find out.
Yeah. Boise State lost the bye. I'm sorry.
God, Lee, you lost.
Sorrows.
Bad.
Prayers.
Prayers and sorrows.
Sorrows and prayers. Can't win them all.
No, unfortunately, can't.
I really feel like they're trying to soft fire you off this list because I don't really know why you're so high up to begin with.
I don't either.
You play Las Vegas? Is that them?
Mhm.
See, this game is
Mhm.
like that's what I'm
Mhm.
saying. Like, why are y'all up here? Why? That's why y'all lost the bye. They're trying to get you off this list, low
Yep.
key.
Yep. 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 Agree. Agree.
Not understanding. Anyway, yeah, you play Vegas. Have fun. Don't gamble. Um, Kansas State whooped that ass on West Virginia.
Good job. And it was a good win. It was a double digit point win. Fair
I
point.
feel
Fair
like
enough.
bumping up a spot is fair.
Fair
That's
enough.
fair.
Yeah. Makes sense to me.
Um, I feel like Kansas.
Weirdly, that technically should be a good matchup, but Kansas is not it this year, and Kansas State is at 16. So meh,
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 meh.
meh. Now, this is the one I thought you would love. I thought you would like this. Mhm.
It wasn't low enough. They need to go lower. 8 spots is insane work, given that they only lost by what?
A touchdown.
Yeah, 8 spots. They are just sick of y'all. They're like, y'all
Mhm.
are just
Cuz
not fulfilling to the hype that we have for you.
it was pathetic. And I say that disrespectfully. It was bad, y'all. Like I understand y'all want to have faith in Jalen. I get it. And I'm not saying you need to bench him like some people are saying, but y'all, that was a horrible performance. Not just by the offense. Defense was boring.
Where's your Pookie Wookie 17-year-old? What is he doing?
Nothing, getting beat. That was the other problem. Jalen kept targeting him every single time to the point like,
And they're going to block it. Did they not think they were going to watch film?
oh, well, Jalen would like stare him down so the defenders knew exactly who he was throwing to. And they were like,
He
Jalen.
didn't have to stare him down to know that that's who they're going to give it to.
Yeah.
Again, did they think they weren't going to watch film before this game started? Please.
Somebody joked and said he is now the youngest person to have lost in the Tennessee Stadium.
I'm pretty sure that's a actual correct fact.
It is. That sucks.
Unfortunate. All that to say,
What a fall from grace.
you could have dropped them 10, and I would have made my heart
Now,
happier.
here's my thing. I do not see a scenario where they could jump up 3 spots to be back in the top 12. They would have to fucking cream everybody the rest of the season for that to happen. And they got to play LSU at LSU. Good fucking luck, mate.
I think the only way that they
Mhm.
could, in theory, move up is
Mhm.
if some of these teams up here fuck up. Which Iowa State, I'm looking at you because that is my only way I can see them like truly bumping back up is if these teams above them fuck up.
Well,
I'm not gonna say it's not in the realm of possibility because they just always are gonna have more favoritism towards Bama. They love them. Let's just elephant in the room, no pun intended. They just really like them. So I do think that they could potentially end up back in the top 12 somehow,
but
but
if they lose this weekend, it's over.
I don't know if it's fully over.
I think they'll drop 3 more spots.
I think it'll be over in terms of their like top 12 dreams, but I
Yes.
think they'll still be on this list.
No, that's what I mean. Is they'll still be on the list, but they are not going to have that chance at the playoffs. So Mizzou,
Oh,
again,
yeah.
y'all have the chance to do the funniest shit this weekend. No
Yeah.
pressure. It is at Mizzou though. I think no, it's at home. It's in Tuscaloosa. Fuck. Good luck, y'all.
Good luck.
Good luck, Mizzou.
Texas A&M stayed. That's kind of crazy.
Okay.
I mean, it is Mississippi State and you only won by 10,
Correct.
but
Correct.
everybody else that won at least, with the exception of the people who don't really matter, at least bumped up one. But hey, to stay where you're at is a win, I guess.
I didn't watch that game, so I don't know what it was. Maybe they saw something that was like that wasn't really impressive. Fuck
Maybe.
if I know. Hell if I know.
Mississippi State's not impressive this year, so that could be it.
Understatement.
But you have a chance to redeem yourself by winning against LSU. Are you going to? In my heart of hearts, I don't think so, but
The only advantage they have is it's in Texas A&M, and that stadium's crazy.
it is. But I don't know if it's enough.
I don't either.
Oh
Yeah.
well, good luck.
Good luck. Have fun.
Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me.
Couldn't be
Wake's
me.
too busy playing Stanford. Couldn't be me.
Georgia's on bye week, so.
Indiana.
Indiana is undefeated for the first time in like years. And it's weird. But then you look at their record and you're like, that tracks.
I mean, to give them 3 spots because they beat Nebraska's kind of wild, but okay.
Yeah. I do agree with that. Maybe 1. 2 is
I would
a
have given
lot.
them, yeah, 2 would have been enough
Yeah. I could have
because
dealt with 2.
now they are also in contention of being in the top 12. And like, yes, it's a big deal for Indiana, not taking that away from them,
No,
but I don't necessarily think they're top 12
I
right
don't
now.
either. I need them to face more opponents. Like
Yeah,
actual opponents. Also, remember how Nebraska got hyped the fuck up because they had that Patrick Mahomes lookalike? Where'd he go?
it's Patrick Mahomes lookalike. It's not Patrick Mahomes. That's the thing that used to kill me. Everybody's like, we got a Patrick Mahomes lookalike. We got a Patrick. It ain't Patrick Mahomes. If he
No,
ain't Patrick Mahomes, it don't matter.
correct.
That is Walmart.
That is
Great value brand. Not enough. Until I see Patrick Mahomes on that field, it ain't nothing.
Nah. The bad thing
Um,
is he almost came to Georgia, and I'm kind of happy he didn't. So, have
I
fun.
still have my thoughts, but I will wait.
What?
Anyway, the QB situation at
Oh.
Georgia.
Oh.
Um,
Hey.
anyway, y'all play Washington, which for some reason I feel like that's actually going to be a little bit of a game. Maybe not a
Maybe.
big one.
Maybe.
Maybe.
There's a chance.
Yeah.
Washington. Where are y'all? Hello?
I don't think they've won a lot, but I think they've been pretty close as terms of score.
They're 2-2 in conference.
Right.
They're 4-3 overall. So
Uh-huh.
not terrible, but also
But what are the scores? Were the scores pretty close?
um Iowa beat them 40-16 last weekend or a few weeks ago. They did beat Michigan,
Yeah.
but that doesn't matter anymore. Rutgers beat them 21-18. They beat Northwestern. Washington State beat them. I'm not seeing anything super impressive. I think Indiana's got this in the bag.
Or so we think.
I don't
Moving
know.
forward.
This season's weird.
Moving forward. Notre Dame. This game is when I was saying and I think I said this last week too when Notre Dame was playing Tech. I was like, I just don't. A lot of people were like, oh, this actually might be a game. Georgia Tech has been very competitive. I was like, yeah, but they've fallen off quite a bit in the
Yeah.
past couple of weeks. And I was like, I
Right.
don't think this is going to be as much of a game as I think it is. And I think the score turned out to be what I expected.
Yep. Agreed.
They play Navy.
Have fun.
Yeah,
Have fun. Good
you're
luck.
you're safe right now. Barely. You're the last spot. So
Yeah.
you gotta win. You gotta win this weekend in order
Hang
to really,
on.
yeah, in order to really prove yourself. Worthy of being in the top 12. Do I think you're supposed to be there? No, but I really can't think of anybody else who should be there. So I guess this is fine.
Yeah. Hang in there. Good luck, Charlie.
Good luck, Charlie. That's all I gotta say.
That's all I got for you. Now listen. 2 spots for beating an unranked Oklahoma for BYU is crazy.
The fact that they are not sitting at least 12 is madness. And I think the only reason that is driving this decision is the fact that they are still undefeated. Because
Agreed.
had anybody else, and this goes for the same for Iowa State too, but we'll get there. Had they played anybody else, and this was the score, they would have for sure dropped, or at
Well,
least been where they were before.
Look at 2 stories here. Iowa State, they had the same score against UCF. They dropped a spot.
Oh, this is scripted. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, targeting. No, but why is one getting rewarded for a close call and the other is getting punished?
Right. I guess it's in their mind they thought BYU was more than what they should be. I personally don't think they should have. Like, I think in my brain, BYU should be above Iowa State for some
Agreed.
reason.
No, I agree.
I don't think they should have bumped them up 2, and I don't think they should have dropped them won, but something in there should have happened to where BYU should be above Iowa State right now.
Mhm.
But what would be interesting is to see because they play UCF,
Mhm.
who just played Iowa State. So
Mhm.
if they show up how Iowa State did, they just might lose. If they beat the brakes off of UCF, Iowa State is dropping.
Yeah.
They're losing the bye week
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh, they're definitely gonna lose the bye week. No
Yeah.
question.
So actually, this will be really interesting. I'm glad they played them like back to back because it'll really show like this is probably like one of the only times you could really see consistency for real
Yeah.
to see how these teams are matching up.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see that. Good luck BYU because you by
You
the
might
hair of
need
your
it.
chinny chin chin.
You might need it.
Um, Iowa State is ranked terribly high.
Yeah.
10?
Yeah. And that's after dropping a spot. I don't understand that.
Again, only here because of the record. Insanity.
I
Insanity.
I agree with you that they could lose this bye week. If
I
BYU whoops the shit out of UCF, Iowa State you're dropping. Like they're not
Yep.
gonna hold that win. No,
Yep.
you're screwed. You're screwed.
Yeah. I think they are definitely fine. I feel like they're still going to be top 12, unfortunately, because of how they're positioned. But again, this is an example, I think, of like a soft firing where they're slowly trying to get them out.
Agreed.
I would not be surprised if they lost their next game, them dropping pretty low. Like, I think they're just needing a reason to drop them low at this point.
Yep. Well, I think, like I said, if BYU ends up winning this week, and let's say Notre Dame does, and Indiana, they have every right to make shifts. Bump them
Hmm.
down. Just bump them. Fine.
Yeah.
I won't be mad about it.
I don't
Now,
think anybody will, to be quite honest with you, because I personally think they're ranked super high.
agreed.
Um,
Now listen.
Clemson.
You want to talk about another team that's ranked pretty high? That's kind of
Yeah,
crazy. That's kind of
yeah.
crazy.
I mean, ACC representation. That is it.
Like everybody's trying to say, oh, they look more like a solid team now. One, who have they played other than us, which we whooped them? Um, they've played Stanford, which yes, they're supposed to win. App State, yes, they were supposed to win that game. NC State, yeah, they're supposed to win that. Florida State, you only scored 29 points on them and let them score 13. Interesting. You beat Wake, as you should have, and you beat Virginia, as you should have.
Hmm.
I'm yet to see a competition. Now, I will say you got Louisville next, and you got to play Pitt later. That could be fun.
Those two games back to back are going to be brutal for them. Like I said in the conversation earlier about the way the weeks went, I think Clemson's strategy is just to make sure the offense outscores the amount of points the defense allows.
Yeah,
And I feel like that luck is going to run out pretty quickly, especially with the two games that they have lined up. But at least you have a bye to figure it out.
hopefully, maybe. Who knows?
Maybe. Um, I definitely feel like I don't know. They're ranked pretty high, but I'm looking at the teams below them, and I feel like they need to at least be above them, which is probably what they were thinking when they made this list.
I guess. I just, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
Nah.
it's a wonky one.
Yeah.
Um, LSU staying in the same spot. Now,
Also an interesting one.
fine.
Um, yeah, they didn't
I
move.
think I think this is fine. There's nowhere else for them to go.
Yeah, they're undefeated in the conference.
Yeah. I think if you don't win this game against Texas A&M, you
Ooh.
can kick top 12 goodbye. That's
Goodbye.
that's kind of where I'm at this point.
Your only redemption, well, no, I don't even know if that would be a redemption because you play Bama later, and if Bama loses this weekend, it doesn't even matter. It ain't
Yeah,
gonna matter.
you have no choice but to win this game.
Mhm.
Period. That's it. That's all.
There's
Good
a lot
luck.
on the line. Yeah, good luck, because both of y'all need to win this game. So good fucking luck. Good luck. I feel like there's gonna
Bloodbath.
be yeah, there's gonna be blood on that field. Get out of my brain. I just was thinking that. Gross.
We can't do this yet. It's
No,
too.
too
We
early.
did good so far to not beat each other's heads, please.
Uh,
Tennessee. I will allow a 4-point bump up. I will allow it. You did what you needed to do. I will allow it. You basically took their spot. I'll allow it. This is fine. Because what were they ranked last week? 11?
mhm.
Yeah. I think it's fair. If you beat the person, you take their spot.
Yeah,
That's pretty much it. I allow it.
I'll allow it.
And you have a much needed rest. Take it. Because I think your schedule is also hard as fuck moving forward.
Yeah, and you also got to fix your field goal post since you want to fucking break it down again. It was cool the first time. Now it's just kind of weird. Don't do that.
Yeah, copycat.
Don't do that.
I don't think there was a reason for y'all to break your
Not this time.
goalpost. And
Vandy this year? Absolutely. 2 years ago when you won? Yes, absolutely. Now? No. Act like you've been here before.
again, Bama's not impressing me. So,
Mm,
not impressive.
hmm
Miami.
Somebody actually watched that game because they did not reward you. This is the one that if they cannot get their defense together, somebody is going to outscore them.
They have the same mentality. This must be the ACC mentality where it's like get your offense to score more than the defense allows because that's
Yep.
pretty much all they're doing.
Yep.
Um, I also feel like the reason they didn't move is because again, there's nowhere for them to go
Nope.
because you can't move up. Look at the top 5. You're not moving up. Um, that win against Louisville. Louisville's competitive, so I will allow the fact that it's close. But again, letting your other opponent get 45,
That's bad.
kind of crazy.
And it's
Good
not the
news is
first
you play
time.
Florida State, so you're gonna at least stay where you're at.
Or so we think.
I think they're gonna stay with if they beat Florida State. I think they're gonna stay where they're at. I don't
No,
think they're
if
gonna
they
drop
do.
or move.
No. I said if they basically was implying if they beat Florida State. Like
If
they're gonna
Florida
lose.
State, if Florida State wins this
I
game,
will cry laughing. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I don't even know what I would say. I don't even know what I would say to that because
I don't know.
they couldn't even they had a close game against Cal.
Mhm. But here's the thing, Miami every single week, and I'm getting so sick and tired of this. And I said it earlier. Y'all keep having these close games. Good for y'all winning. I love that y'all are coming out on top. But y'all are going to fuck up one of these days, and the defense is going to show the fuck up for that other team, and they're going to outscore the shit out of y'all. You just
Which
need one good defense.
unfortunately, I don't think Florida State's gonna be the one for that.
No,
I just
I just think it would be hilarious if that was the one game they actually showed
that
up
would
for.
actually be so funny.
But
I like I said, I wouldn't know what I would say
I don't see anybody that's potentially going to give Miami a run for their game.
for the rest of the season.
Yeah, maybe Syracuse at the end of the year, but maybe.
Maybe, but at that point, is it really gonna matter?
I mean, if Syracuse stays unranked and they whoop the shit out of Miami, they could drop out of the top 12. That's a possibility.
But I don't think it's gonna be as impactful as it would be if they lost now.
I think it still would because it's the end of the season. And if Syracuse is unranked at that time and Syracuse beats you and it's a team you're supposed to
Right.
beat,
But you're talking about them being in spot 6 at that point. That's if they stay in spot
mhm,
6. Even if they were to drop them significantly, I feel like they would go to like 12.
maybe.
Like Like, I just don't see them dropping them any lower than, like, I don't know, especially because Syracuse has been seen as, like, competitive and they've been trying to fight their way on this list. I just don't think it would be as impactful as we're thinking.
I don't know.
It might be great for Syracuse if they won, because then that might actually put them on the list, but
I don't
I
know.
don't know. I just don't think
I
that win is going to be impactful.
I think to me the AP poll is looking for a reason to try to start bumping Miami down. Because
Mm,
to be honest, like I said, I'm getting sick of these close calls. And the for 3 of your games are questionable that you won at best. So
fair.
what happens like I kind of want them to make the playoffs because I want to see them face an actual team and see what the fuck happens and see what they're actually about because they have not faced a real team this year at all. And they're not
Yeah,
going to until the end of the year. Would I like to see them fall out of the top 12? Yes. Do I think it's going to happen? No, unfortunately. But I do think like if they lose to Syracuse, they're going to bump their ass down to 12. Like they're going to be
I think
hanging
so.
on for dear life if they lose that game.
I think so. I think that's what will end up happening. But that's if they lose to Syracuse, which who knows.
Who knows?
Um, yeah, I don't know if they're trying to find a real reason to bump them down. I feel like they are the token team where they need ACC representation, same with Clemson. Um, so I don't know if they're necessarily trying to, because even in those close games, they still like bumped them up, whereas other teams we've seen that at close games are getting dropped 2 points.
That's fair.
So I just don't know, but I definitely don't think they're gonna bump up unless I just don't think they're gonna bump them up past 6.
No. You have not shown me anything to prove that you should be in the top 5. Especially having close calls against fucking Cal and Virginia Tech.
Mhm.
Like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway,
Anyways.
Texas.
To
I just think it's funny how we put them in Georgia's spot, but we don't put Georgia in Texas' spot.
be fair, Oregon is undefeated, so I respect the decision. It's fine.
I understand, but I just think it's funny how in other times when they beat other people, we put them low. We move people up to the top spot. We put them where they were. And now all of a sudden they're like, oh, again, Oregon 7-0, fine. But I'm just saying it's kind
And
of
they
interesting.
also just beat Ohio State, to be fair. So, I get it.
The people that are fighting to be known, okay. I'm not saying I don't disagree with the decision. I understand where they're coming from with the decision. I'm just simply saying I just think it's interesting.
It's interesting, but I get it. And I'm
Yeah.
fine with it. I'm fine with it. But
Yeah.
Texas,
Get fucked.
get absolutely fucking wrecked, my guy. Have fun against Vandy, and have good fun the rest of your season, because it doesn't look good for you.
Yep. That's it. That's all.
Have fun.
Ohio State, son of a gun.
You won the bye week. You didn't move.
You made it out of the third spot. You're not third. No. That was my whole gripe was that you were third. You're no longer third. Um, I do feel like they're kind of hoeing you though.
No.
I think so because I just
Why?
don't. I'm not fully convinced that Penn State should be higher than them.
Neither one of them should be that high. I'm gonna be flat out honest from what I've seen. Penn State ain't that good. But here's the fun part. Here's the fun part. They're all about to play each other. Penn State, Oregon, Ohio State, all of them are about to start playing each other. It's about to be a bloodbath in that top 5, and literally Georgia just is gonna be chilling watching this shit. It's
I don't know
crazy.
about chilling. I don't know about
No,
chilling,
we still
but
got games. We still got games. Don't
yeah,
hold on. We still got games. But watching
I
these 3 at least, we're just gonna be like, okay, y'all beat each other up. We're gonna
we'll sing
chill
it.
over
Go
here.
hang tight. Yeah. I low key feel like they owed them. They should have been 3. I don't think.
Nah, I think
I don't. I just am not impressed with Penn State.
I'm not impressed with Ohio. I'm not impressed with either of them. Can we just take them off?
You know?
Yeah, they both stink. Just
Huh.
take them off. To be fair, their difference in votes is only by like 20. So it's close. It's pretty
Yeah.
close.
I
So,
mean, they both play no-name teams that don't really matter
mhm.
this week. So I feel like they might do a little flipperoo if one of them has a closer game than the other.
um,
Okay.
it's gonna start. Oh, so after this weekend, they're gonna play. Ohio State and Penn State are gonna play each other.
Fun, fun, fun.
November 2nd, it's a noon game in Penn State. Now, I don't know if y'all have ever seen a game in Penn State, and it's a big conference game. Fucking atmosphere's insane, crazy. Um, I will. I'll be at Georgia, Florida. I will try to keep up with that game. I am interested. That's gonna be the deciding factor right there.
Yeah. I feel bad for Ohio State low-key because this is the second time they're doing this. At least others got a break, but yeah, they're gonna have to go up again. 3-4 again. Ooh.
I well, that's what happens. I mean, you got to start playing conference games, and they do this every year. Ohio State and Penn State always plan like their big matchups at the end of the year. And
Hmm.
here's the bad part: Ohio State also has to play Indiana, and if Indiana keeps playing their cards right, that's another top 12 matchup. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Poor y'all. That
Um.
sucks.
Good luck.
Good luck.
And
Get fucked.
then moving up 3 spots to number 2, where they should have been the first time, we got Georgia.
Whoop, whoop. I'm fine with that. I'm happy with that. I honestly, number one is fine. I know some people would prefer number one. I know you do. I'm fine with number two. I'd rather not
It's not
be in
even
the spotlight.
it's not even that I prefer them at number 1. I just think it's interesting that when Georgia gets beat, they give the person more grace, but when Georgia beats, they don't.
Oh yeah, no. Coach. ESPN was fully against us the entire week. Everybody at ESPN is pretty much against us. It's fine.
I feel like they're treating Georgia like how they really should be treating Bama. Like they're just like, we're so tired of Georgia winning. Well, suck it up because they are.
Yeah, sorry.
I feel like that energy of everybody's against Georgia needs to really be towards Bama because Bama stinks.
No, keep feeding us because I will not forget the fact when Nolan Smith came out, one of the years we won the national championship, that he was like, "Yeah, y'all are all against us," and everybody said, "Who was against y'all?" And I was like, "Do I need to go back in our season for every college game day
And
when
bring
y'all
up the
had our games
receipts.
because y'all did?" So everybody this past week and this past Saturday, they screenshotted, recorded, and saved every single commentator that said that Texas was going to whoop our ass and that we weren't even going to score a touchdown. We saved it. We got receipts now.
Now I can speak on my thoughts. So Carson,
Hold on.
love the
Hold on.
love the chat.
Mm, hold on.
Love the chat. I'm not shitting on him. I think y'all have had worse and done things with worse. But for the love of God, can we please calm the interceptions down a bit?
Hold on. Hold on.
Just a, just
So, two of them weren't his fault. One of them was fucking hit. Here's my problem. Here's my issue. Here's my thing. Yes, Carson is not perfect every single time. I will go with that. That's fine. I am
mm-hmm.
sick and tired of him hitting the receivers in the goddamn hands. Every fucking 8 out of the damn 10 drop passes, he's hitting receivers in the fucking hands. And everybody's like, "Oh, it's Carson's fault." Tight ends are getting hit in the
I
hands. Receivers are getting hit in the hands. What the fuck are
I'm
you
not
do?
yeah, I'm not blaming him on that
No,
because
that's
there have
fine.
been some butterfingers, but
Bitch.
the it's not even the inter I'm gonna be real. It's not even the interceptions because I this is probably the most interceptions I've seen in all the seasons of football across all these teams that we've just talked
Yeah,
about.
it's
Because
crazy right now.
interceptions have been crazy, but the problem is his interceptions are. It's like if you had the worst possible time to have an interception, that's when he does it,
Yeah.
and it's like this is the time where we don't need that. Like, so that was my whole thing. Is just like, and I think I said this before, like a couple weeks before. It's just like, babes, interceptions have been saving you, but they have been putting Georgia in some sticky situations, and I'm gonna need you to like hone it in.
I need the receivers to actually run their routes and catch the fucking ball. Because some of the, yes, I will give Carson some of those interceptions. You got to do better on the aim. I get that. But when the fucking receivers and their tight ends and running backs are also not running their routes and they're letting that slip, and I'm sorry, Lucky, I don't mean to call you out. Boy,
Run the route again.
run the fucking
It's
route again.
good.
If, I do not make a habit on shitting on players or coaches specifically or whatever. I think offensively, the pieces are there. Literally the pieces are there, and our running game is now finally put together, which love that. Thank you so fucking much. I think we got really comfortable with having Brock Bowers and Lad McConkey for so long that now, especially with Ra Thomas, got kicked off the team, rightfully so, for some crazy shit. Not driving, beating somebody up, not driving, not driving.
I know.
So you can stop doing that.
Hellcat, SRT. Sorry. Go ahead.
He was rightfully kicked off, which is fine. That was his main target last year, one of his main targets. So now you have all these other receivers and tight ends, and nobody's catching the fucking ball except for our running backs. And it's like, and then you got Dylan Bell, who's supposed to be a star, and he's 50-50 on whether he's going to catch the ball. So I'm not shitting on everybody. It's a team sport, and I get that. And yes, I have called out players. I understand that. I just would love for our offense to fully fucking click. What are you doing? What are you doing?
All I'm gonna say is I said my piece about the quarterback. That's it. I love the sleeve though. That is fucking sick. I'm a sucker for tattoos.
I
So
would not like to be Texas and say we're trying to, quote, calm our quarterback down by benching our starter and putting in our second string to do nothing and then flipping him back after halftime. I would love to not do that, please. Let's not start quarterback controversy in the middle of the fucking season like Texas has
I think
done.
they will. I don't think they will. Carson's doing enough right now. I don't think that's the problem. I just need him to not throw interceptions when it's the most important part of the game.
To be fair,
That's it.
Stetson did too.
Who?
Stetson? Bennett?
The work that Georgia put in against Stetson Bennett was an act of God.
I specifically remember, I can't remember if it was the Bama game or the Ohio State game, where he was getting sacked and he threw the fucking ball and it ended up being technically, I think it was technically a fumble. They ruled it a fumble or something, and they got this ball and scored. I was like, you're cooked. You're done. I'm sick of it. And then the next drive, he fucking drove down the field and scored. And I'll give it to Carson.
Again.
He's done it. He's done that.
Stetson is an anomaly in the game of college football that Georgia took and ran with.
Yep.
Never seen more perfect work. So, that is why I said...
Not perfect. He was great, but he threw a lot of interceptions.
That is why I said I've seen Georgia do more with less. I just feel like, again, not a bad quarterback. Just stop intercepting when the game matters most, and then we're fine.
He did it all in the first half. After we were up by 20.
No, he did one in the second quarter, I thought.
That one that that was the one that called the controversial penalty. Yeah, the one.
Yeah.
And they ended up not scoring on it.
They didn't, which was shout out to the defense on that one.
Shout out to you.
Before the controversial play, it was valid. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was valid.
No, it was valid.
And it put them in a horrible spot. Again, they didn't do nothing with it. Shout out to the defense. But like I said, that's a decision maker right there. Like, had that went a different way, I wouldn't say we'd be having a different conversation because y'all did score enough in the first half to, like, but it wouldn't have been 30-15. It might have been like 38. No. No.
30-0.
No.
Please.
That's all I'm saying is just
I get it. I
he did the
understand.
same thing in the Kentucky game too.
Yeah, 3 games ago. Listen,
Still, like,
okay,
so
go back there. Okay. Yes, I'm getting defensive over my quarterback. I understand that. I don't like shitting on players. It really hurts my soul because
I know,
these are kids.
and I wouldn't even call this shitting. I would call this constructive criticism.
Sound like my fucking parents. This is
Because
when
listen,
I'm
I
not
do this.
being mean. I'm just giving you constructive criticism.
Here's the thing.
No.
I am very like I'm not gonna say unbiased because I do have my biased
You
opinions
have hella
because
biases.
Alabama fucking stinks. But I am realistic sometimes when
Yeah.
it comes to like really seeing it for what it is. Same reason why I say stuff about Wake. Like I can sit here as a Wake fan and I chose them for my pick'ems. I will choose them every time because that is who I am. But I'm gonna be honest about what I'm seeing.
No,
I'm
and
not gonna sit here and I'm just gonna be honest.
I'm gonna be honest. Like I said, yeah, Carson got work on interceptions, but also I need receivers to do their
Yeah,
routes
it's a
and
team
catch the
effort.
ball. Catch the ball
It is a team
because
effort.
2 of them interceptions. I should have fucking caught it and turned around in time and got the damn ball, but that's fine. Um,
Yeah.
and also, um, I offense is now the only thing that I have not question marks on, but still is like defense proved themselves and are now an A, like a solid A, not an A minus, not an A plus, but an A, teetering an A minus. Offense, you're still a B.
And we're looking at you, O-line.
Like I'm glad
That's the other part. Like, I'll be real. Half of it.
yeah, it's injuries. It's bad. We're so
Yeah.
banged up, but positive. Our center did come back this week. You could tell our fucking O line was phenomenal, and Tate Ratledge was on the field, doing some workouts and running, and he said he might be. They're thinking he might be back for Georgia, Florida, since he gets an extra week. That's huge. That's a senior back on the O line. Hell fucking yeah, brother. Um, all of that to say, yes. Um, I agree that our offense still has work to do, and that includes Carson. And I think if he can confidently find a receiver, that would help. But I think there's just so many question marks on those, and like
And
who's the new receiver and who's the new star tight end, and it's just not nobody's standing out.
he's fairly new, right? Like,
Who?
Carson, like he's
This is his second year. He played last year.
yeah. I think okay. Okay.
This is his second
With
year.
yeah. So in the grand scheme of things,
But I
it's
think
just
he's a junior.
he has time though. Like that's a whole season, maybe two, depending on how his like red shirt and all that went. But to be fair, I will give some grace because he has some time to grow. And the only way you can grow is to keep playing the schedule y'all got. So
We don't got a choice. We really don't got a choice. I will say, people blaming his girlfriend, y'all gotta relax. Y'all gotta
blaming his girlfriend for what?
Oh, baby, he got a girlfriend, and she's on social media. Let me tell you, she's fire. Okay, she's fire. And every time a player gets a girlfriend and he starts being not 100%, they immediately be like, stop playing with the girl, focus on football. And it's like, can we stop blaming the girlfriend? Because it's not the fucking girlfriend.
I am a firm believer that girlfriends can, in fact, make them play better. And I know a lot of people don't agree with that, but without going into full details, sometimes you need a place to put that energy. That's it. That's all. I won't say much more on that. I'm a firm believer. The wags are wags for a reason. Okay, when you get to the NFL, them wags
wagon
are God's toughest soldiers. Because let me tell you, the way I could not handle being an NFL wife because
the shit talking, holy hell,
the down you have to experience when they lose and the up you got to experience when they win. Only a certain amount of people can handle that.
Yep.
So again, not gonna go into details, but sometimes having a girlfriend kind of helpful.
It's kind of helpful. Also, just stop blaming the girlfriend. That's kind of weird. It's not her.
Now, if emotions come into play and they start fighting and arguing, then maybe we could have another
Yeah, we can talk about
conversation.
it.
But
But
at this very point in time, the girlfriend is helping.
that girlfriend, it's just the girlfriend. Like, please be serious. But she's beautiful. She's very pretty. Good for you.
At least she's not like a Brittany Mahomes. That'd have been a problem.
She might be an inspiration. Have you seen her Instagram?
No, I know
Her
nothing about this
girlfriend, his
person.
girlfriend's Instagram. Okay, I can't pull it up on my phone because I have the app blocked for a bit, so I can go to bed tonight like a normal person. I'll send her to
I'll do
you.
some, yeah, I'll do some research on offline.
It's
But
yeah, do some research. I think she's getting inspiration from her, which is concerning, but
oh, brother.
oh, brother. Or really, technically, she could also be getting inspiration from Stafford's wife. So
That's fine.
I'm fine with that. She's hilarious.
That's fine.
Um, last
Um,
last but not least,
Oregon, yay. End of the list.
good job, Dan Lanning. Good on you. Good luck against Illinois. Um, I don't see y'all facing a true opponent after Ohio State. I think y'all are going to be cozy up here unless y'all fuck it up. So congratulations. Um, hold steady. I don't know what the fuck's going to happen to y'all in the playoffs though. It might get messy because y'all have not played a true team. I don't know what's going to happen to you, brother.
Okay.
No
I
thoughts.
mean,
Just ball.
I don't have much thoughts other than just keep doing what you're doing. That's it.
Keep doing what you're doing, brother. Don't overthink it.
That's all I got to say at this very moment in time.
Yeah.
Yep. Well,
uh,
guys, that was the top 25 AP poll list. We yapped for, I think, I don't know, I don't have the timer, but it
it
looks like
might
2
be an
hours.
hour.
Oh, I thought it was 2. That's
It might have
better
been
than
an
what I
hour.
thought.
Might have been an hour. I'll have to look after this. But hope you enjoyed
Wait,
it.
solely on the AP poll, or are you talking about both AP and week?
Both. This whole episode. Might be an hour. Could be longer. We'll see. We're not sorry about it.
I'm gonna spit nonsense so that I can make it longer. I'm just kidding. I'm not doing that. We're gonna move on to college pick'ems because I have another reason to gloat.
She's actually happy this week.
This was probably the best. I literally tweeted, this was the best week of college football for me. Respectfully.
Let me back that up. She's happy now until she sees the games that I picked for this week.
Yeah, I literally. We can talk more about this during the college pick'ems episode, but I literally texted Jessica and said, this is the perfect day. And she said, I'm making the picks now. And I said, and perfect day over.
And she FaceTimed me immediately to find out who it was. She was not pleased.
All right, but we will talk about that on the next episode. Until then, go dogs and go deeks.
Go Deeks and go Dogs. See you guys soon.
They both
Bye.
won.
Fuck yeah, they did.
Bama stinks. Woo!
Win the bye week. Bye.
Bye.